team, HEP Suzuki. So first off, let's just start with how much chiz could chiz if chiz was chizzing all the time?
Hold on a second. Can we just start off with...
I tried to make that up.
Get well soon, Brandon Hartranft.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Fuck, that's terrible. From what I understand, he's going to make a full recovery.
Yes,
though.
I did see that.
But I think that could be a career ender.
That could be.
Which really is...
If you're Brandon, you got to take a hard look in the mirror after that.
Look, I know that we're talking about insignificant crap in the sense that, his career versus his life.
Yeah.
If he makes a full recovery, but what really sucks is he was coming off his best year ever. Mm-hmm. He was on a trajectory where he was never going to get wins and podiums and this and that, probably never even top fives. But for a dude that nobody really ever talked about outside of maybe his last year as an amateur,
had to get pushed up after like his second year, 250s,
and he was not ready.
No,
the career path that he was going of where he just could have ended up as a guy that you just like, wow, this dude did the most he possibly could with not. I'm not saying nothing as far as teams, but just with. Let's be real. He's never been the fastest guy. He's never had the most talent.
Nope.
You want to talk about just a grinder? Just
not a media darling. Nothing. Just
this dude.
Just a dude who rides his dirt bike.
Exactly. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I don't. If he never rides again, it will not shock me.
No.
That was bad.
So, but anyway, back to Chiz. So, how much chizzing is Chiz gonna chiz this year?
Is Chiz gonna get a top 10?
So he got an 8th in Atlanta last year in 450s.
Was that? Oh yeah.
At some point, yeah. But I think this is also great for Chiz though because he's been able to get into a factory ride, which is great. Mm-hmm. A lot more resources.
Yep.
But he now becomes a test guy.
Yeah.
So he's setting himself up, I think, for a career that's after, and
he's getting a late start though.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because I just
watched.
watched.
He was on his Yamaha as like late as Thanksgiving with Colin Park.
I was gonna say I just watched that vlog yesterday.
This morning, yeah.
Did you see my comment?
No, I didn't see that.
Met your mom at Redbud. She's a wonderful lady.
Colin's mom is nice though.
She's super great.
It is funny though that you just like, yeah, you know what? As of Thanksgiving, I was riding with Colin Park, and then now I'm riding with Kenny.
Yeah.
So I think, I mean, Chiz, you just know what you're gonna get from him.
Mm-hmm.
Like
consistency.
He's gonna be in the main.
But with the new bike or whatnot, A1, I'm thinking fantasy purposes already. Do you pick him? Probably not.
He makes the main, but it depends what the handicap is.
Yeah,
we'll get to that. So fantasy shows.
Oh God, fantasy.
dropping every Friday.
Yeah, but you do think he makes a main?
He makes
the main.
I think he makes every main.
Well, I mean, makes it a A1.
Yeah, for sure.
He's Chiz, bro.
I think he'll be. I think he's gonna be towards the back.
You want to know why he didn't make A1 last year? He wasn't at A1.
But I think that when he gets that bike dialed in and just get used to the ergos of riding a Suzuki again, I think that he's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's smart enough to get the thing figured out and patient enough too. So, which I think also segues into the next guy. I think they have a really great relationship, and
Chiz is the reason Kenny signed.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. He's the reason why Kenny
that's
signed.
What I'm saying.
Hold on.
And I think that's that's going to be dangerous.
I have an opening question for Ken Roczen here for you too.
Yeah, because I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a lengthy conversation.
So, after Kenny wins A1,
well, he won it last year.
do they sell out every Suzuki across the world?
No. I've already been thinking about getting one.
You want to go back? You're going to
go
go
down
to
to Ziegler Motorsports. They just gave my boy Husqvarna. He had a Husqvarna 450.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was either a 21 or 22 or something. With like maybe 30, 40 hours on it, maybe? $7,500 on
no
trade.
Shit.
If I took my bike there and got $7,500 out of it, I could walk out with a brand new Suzuki.
You're gonna go back to Kickstart, bud? I don't know if you like that.
If they would just drop
2025
a 24 with electric start, I'm all about it. Especially at the price point, because for the price point that Suzuki is, and everybody's talking about this, as long as it has the button, so I can press, because I don't really want to kick anymore, I can then put my own suspension, my own bars, my graphics, and a wheel set, and have that thing fully set up and looking trick for the same price as a brand new, pretty much any other one.
Hey, I think somebody over at
or
Suzuki
less.
is actually a sneaky smart person. Because they let their bikes get old, outdated, and then they sign a big name, dude. They've done this a million times. They signed McGrath. They signed Carmichael.
Which
they signed Stu. Everybody's
Reed.
like, "Wow, this bike's outdated. This sucks." Everybody's talking about the Suzuki. The guy's gonna go out and fucking win on it.
Do you want to know?
They're gonna make it back to the top.
The crazy thing,
Sneaky good marketing.
if you go back to McGrath, who else came to Suzuki with McGrath when he did it?
LaRocco.
Larry Brooks. And Larry Brooks is with HEP now.
Yep, and Larry Brooks is
Wild shit.
Somebody said this the other day too, with Larry Brooks being the team manager over there at HEP.
Yeah.
I think that is a positive thing for Roczen because I don't know who said it, but if when Larry Brooks wants to win, if it meant laying his grandma out on the starting line to get more traction and for Kenny to run over her so he can get a whole shot, he would do it.
Oh, yeah. 100%. So, Kenny wins A1.
It's between him and Anderson for me. I know it's a little early into our predictions, but I don't know, man. I think this move for Kenny is really good. He doesn't have the corporate parameters. He can have fun. He can be himself. He can tell somebody to lick his balls on Instagram, and he's not going to have any repercussions.
Do whatever he wants with the bike.
100%.
Yep, he can do whatever he wants with the bike.
Which is a big point because I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm sure you did. After where was it? Paris or whatever, and he basically made the comment in the interview of like, well, it's amazing. I could do what I wanted to with this Honda, and it was so good. And it was like, oh,
was that his Insta post?
No, he did an interview with somebody and said
Because
that.
he also did an Insta post where he talked about that while he was riding the Stark, and there was a comment about that being able to do whatever he wanted with the bike. Yeah.
Jace made this point yesterday talking to Sleater on
Look at the
Gypsies.
Suzuki, when he was on a private team, I think a private team is the best thing for any of these athletes. Any of them.
Which is why I still think that had he gone the route, and we had talked about this, had he gone the route with Uriev's team being on the Honda, I still think he would have been better off on that bike.
Yeah.
Because he could have done whatever
he
he wanted with the bike.
to.
He could test what he wanted to. He didn't have to go here.
Look at what he did to Tomac. Tomac was on a star bike in Paris.
Yes. It was the same bike that he won on Supercross. So
And Kenny put it to him.
yeah. And he was outright faster than him, too. It's not like he wore him down or Eli. Eli made a few mistakes, but because he was trying to push to run Kenny's pace.
So this could get interesting. There's a lot of talk about he's not going to do anything. He's past his prime. He's all this. He's all that. The bike's outdated. All that dumb shit. I don't know, man.
I think Kenny's got a chip on his shoulder this season.
Huge chip.
One thing I will say, though, I'm not going to do this whole thing that we've done in the past with Kenny where it's like, oh, my God, this is rejuvenated Kenny. He's going to win the title now. I don't agree with that.
I don't think he wins a title now.
But
do you think he's in the conversation for a title, though, throughout the year?
we're going to have to we'll find out that really early. I think we'll find out by round 4 what version we're going to get of Kenny. But I agree. I think he can go out and win A1. I really
think he
do.
can go out and win A1.
And I know that none of us, they're all fun to watch, but we also are not fans of the whole instant, because anybody can look fast for 20 seconds.
Yeah.
He did
That
look fast.
video, oh my God.
I mean, comparing him to, he looked like shit on that Yamaha. He really did not look comfortable.
No,
on
he looked
that Yamaha.
terrible on it.
And coming out on that Suzuki and some of the videos I seen on that thing.
And that whoop speed.
The whoop speed, and I think the weight of the bike, everybody likes to talk shit about it. At that level, weight doesn't matter. But maybe 2-3 pounds extra keeps that bike planted a little better.
That is something Kiefer talked about on Pulp this week of like people talk about the weight, but he's like, dude, sometimes if you have like 2 to 4 pounds heavier weight, especially in the bottom of the bike there, it'll keep that thing planted going through stuff.
My Suzuki was fucking dope.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see, man.
I think you start seeing a lot more Suzukis at the track again, though.
Dude, I mean,
So I just said
the
it,
only
but
thing's a Kickstarter, but
do
whatever.
you guys
Be a
believe,
man.
do you two believe that he's going to be in a title contention?
it would not surprise me because we all know a happy Kenny is good,
But also an unhappy Kenny is bad.
but I don't think you're going to see that problem
I
because
don't
like
think
we
there's
just
no
talked
shackles
about.
on him.
No, there isn't. He can do whatever. Remember in RCH when he went back to an all-stock Suzuki and they started from that? I think if he starts getting off track here with HEP, he goes, I want to go back to all-stock. And they do that. And then
Does
all of a
anybody know
sudden
who the
it's,
chassis
And
guy
think
is
Hep-
over there?
I don't know.
But I think HEP is like, hey, we've got Ken Roczen, arguably the biggest name in the sport. He can say or do whatever the fuck he wants.
Well, and Suzuki has, and this was something we all talked about as well. Suzuki has made mention that because, like with Kenny, they're gonna start actually putting more money into this team. So he is gonna be getting help. It's not he just they're using it in the machine shop. Like it is gonna be factory support.
no, it's gonna be good, man.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes, but I just remember him in the RCH days and how much fun he was having there after he got off KTM where he was fucking miserable.
Here's the thing, and I think Kiefer made this comment. I think Kiefer was. We all know that Kenny arguably has the gnarliest sprint speed of anybody early on. Probably, the first 5-6 minutes?
Yeah.
Now, think about, when we're talking about the bike, how much he's talked about he was fighting the bike all these years, and he was that fast early on. Think about the fact that now he's going to be on a bike that he's not going to have to fight to turn down in the corners. So if he can pull out 7 seconds and 5 minutes on a bike that he's not gelling with,
Yeah,
what do you think he's going to do with a bike that he is gelling with in the first 5 minutes?
Here's the
He
other
might be able to sprint for 10 minutes.
And it won't matter if he does have issues 15 minutes in that he's like, well, shit, I got a 15 spot. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't. It's going to be interesting.
If he just blitzes everybody at A1, there's going to be more conversation going on because we all talk.
You won't be able to buy a Suzuki for the next 6 months.
But everybody talks about, it's just A1, it's just A1.
They'll all sell that
Kenny
Monday.
goes and blitzes everybody A1.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's going to have to be a real conversation to be had is like, okay.
The biggest question with Ken and Suzuki, does he go with the black rims or the gold ones?
Ooh,
God,
that's
I
a
hope
good
he goes with
question.
the black rims.
Me too.
Really? I'm a yellow guy.
I mean, the gold rims look cool. Don't get me wrong.
The gold's okay, but I'm not a gold on yellow person. You know,
I think the yellow rims, that's Suzuki to me.
I think if he
So-
did black with gold.
we'll see.
Black rims, gold hubs.
I don't know. Yellow rims is like,
It looks cool.
it's Carmichael.
I mean, the
it's
thing is, too, you
Pastrana.
can do a lot of cool retro shit with that bike. So if, he has input of what the bike looks like with
Yeah.
some of these, rounds where they're doing...
Here's
Which
the
I'm sure he would too, and that's another thing that keeps it fresh and fun for him.
Yeah,
You
he
know-
can do whatever the hell he wants.
we've talked for years about Suzuki. Oh, they're going to come out with a new bike. They're going to come out with a new bike, and they haven't, right? Do you think that the actual rumor is true that then in 24 they're going to come out with a new one, and that's part of the reason they did this?
People have made that
I don't
comment.
know because like I said, maybe it's like a sneaky good marketing thing because they sign a big guy like this.
Yeah.
They sell out of all their old bullshit, new stock, and now they have money to play with and develop a new bike.
You know the thing that frustrates me though? Everybody talks about how that bike is terrible, this and that. It's not terrible. It's just because it doesn't have a
No.
Kickstarter on, or just doesn't have a starter button on it. It's like, oh yeah, the motor's outdated and the chassis is outdated. Well, the thing, and you know this because you were on Suzuki a few years ago, thing turns on a dime, and everybody talks about the motor. It's out. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Do people still get starts
And
on those
dude,
Suzuki?
I had a stock pipe on my bike, and Battle Creek,
Money Moto?
local guy with a JGR motor in his Yamaha, my stock pipe, Suzuki whole shot at that motherfucker.
I mean,
Twice.
the thing is that for anyone outside of Ken Roczen and Eli Tomac, that bike is just fine. And on top of that, you save so much money on it that you can, like I said, get your suspension done for you. You can get wheels that aren't going to explode if you case a jump.
Don't fix what's not broken.
Yeah,
You know what I think's
you can
hilarious,
put your
though?
bars, you can get your graphics.
I think it's hilarious that they have to sign Ken Roczen for people to really be more open-minded about the Suzuki.
And if it does, and if it gets to that point, that's just a kind of an outside talking
look
point.
at us. We're all in the very positive of the Suzuki. If I remember correctly, last year, I mean, guys like ourselves and other people were shitting all over that bike. Fuck that bike. Now we're like, oh, I might go buy one.
I mean, it is outdated. It is for sure.
But
Like
see, here's the
they have
thing,
not
though.
kept up on that thing.
People all talk about same thing with the 250s. Dude, how many times last year did Carson Mumford rip hole shots on that 250? Oh, that bike's outdated. It's the slowest bike in the class.
Alex Martin hitting the leaf on a
Yeah,
250.
so it's
Yeah.
like, okay, and I don't know. It's just, I know that that's an outside talking point of bike sales compared to what's going on with the racing. But everybody just likes to talk about how terrible that bike is. It's just because it's not been updated.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Ken Roczen won a championship on that bike back in 2016. I know that that's
Murdered everyone.
7 years removed now, or going to be 7 years
I'm
removed.
basically a stock one.
But
it's
it's
a
hilarious.
little different though. The bike.
It is a little different. The ergonomic, the chassis is a little
Yeah.
bit different and stuff. But
The only thing, and I did notice that the production bike comes with a different shock on it, and the shock's garbage. Whereas Kenny, he has the different shock on it already.
Yeah.
And it didn't take him very long to get rid of those Mika bars. He's got Renthals on there.
No,
how
that
funny
does-
will it be, though, if he does win, and then how many people you think in the industry, the talking heads, will just be like, well, we knew that bike could do really great as long as you put a good rider on it.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it didn't really hit me until recently when he did sign and everybody started talking about it, about because I've heard the point before. Suzuki, just say it's an entry-level bike that you can sell for $5,500 because, I mean, it's true. So I buy a 21 250F, okay? Yamaha.
Yamaha.
I mean, that thing was $8,500 out the door.
Yeah, that thing looks like it's about 2,500 with that frame
So
all scuffed up.
So it's like, okay, cool. So with that extra $3,000, I mean, right there is the suspension. Right there, like I said, is the wheels, the sprocket that looks cool, the bars, the graphics, the pipe, everything to make that bike be like, all right, this is a cool, custom, race-looking bike, which is as an old guy who can't go fast, want to look fast, there we go. Where right now it's like, okay, I've got this thing, and it's like what I paid, then I get suspension, then I get wheel. I mean, I'm $15,000 into a 250F. You know?
So yet again, every year since 2018, big question mark with Ken Roczen.
Yeah, no shit. Well, the other thing is like, where's his fitness at? Where's his immunity? Where's all that?
I'm more concerned about his immunity.
I heard somewhere a long time ago, and I say a long time ago, in the last 6 weeks here,
Wow.
that
Squirrel.
that imagine this, he's worked with someone different, and they have figured him out.
Maybe.
So if they did that,
Is that why he's on these immunity pills? That Steve
I was
asked
gonna
him
say
to
that's
fuck out of?
that's an interesting.
So
The
he's getting a
immunity
shot in his
pills,
knee again?
the immunity pills that were in an unlabeled bottle, like
Yeah, but there was a label on it, unless Steve's covering someone's ass.
I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see. We'll find out. We will find out.
That's a great thing about racing. We will find out.
How many wins does he get?
4 to 5.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm high on Roczen. I think he's gonna be good.
I'm gonna go with a few.
3.
Yeah, that would be a few.
3.
Not sure. What a
Okay,
few?
fine. I'll go with 3. I'll go with 3.
I don't think 4 or 5. That's a lot.
I'll go 3.
It wouldn't
3.
surprise me.
3.
I mean, nothing would surprise me with him either. He'll come out and kick
Nothing
everybody's
surprises
ass,
me
and
anymore
he'll
with
come
dirt
out and be
bikes.
terrible.
Nothing
Yep.
surprises me.
But I think he's going to be a lot better than what people think.
I agree with that.
Okay, cool. So moving on from those.